What is up? What is up, everybody? How you guys doing today? YouTube, what is good? This is my first official YouTube video and the start of a very long series where we are going to take One Piece characters, look at their fandom page, break down everything about them, and then I'll give you my opinions on the character. I don't know if I want to start alphabetically in like the actual like fandom character log or just go off of what I've been doing on my TikTok. So I am going to I wish I had a coin. I was going to flip a coin. We'll flip a charger. Yeah? Side with the words is alphabetical. Backside is TikTok. Alphabetical it is. All right, so I tried starting one yesterday, but I got super embarrassed. Oh shit, you guys can hear that. We gotta mute that. Yeah, I got super embarrassed, so I stopped halfway through. But we're not gonna do that today. We're gonna stick through. I do remember who the first like actual character, cause when you go to the One Piece fandom page, like just straight up One Piece Wiki. And you go to, we'll go anime. No, that's not what we want. World characters. All characters in the world of One Piece. So, we could go A, B, C. So, like, we go A. We start with A. That's just giving me antagonists. This isn't what I want. What the fuck? This is so much harder to figure out. Okay, here we are. Characters by antagonist, multiple character articles, characters by gallery, ability, gender, group, location, occupation, source, status, type. Gender, obviously, gives you the yeah. So we'll start with female characters. Yeah, and then here we have our massive list of all the female characters. But like the first female character, Acelia, she like shows up for like 10 minutes in a single episode or like 2 episodes. Adele, I think, is from, yeah, she's one of the mermaids from Fishman Island. So like the first like actual character in the alphabetical order that's important to the story in some way, shape, or form is Aisa. So we will be starting today on Aisa. Now, Aisa is a young Shandia girl from the Sky Island arc. She is part of the Shandian tribe. Shandians are essentially the descendants of the original people who lived on Jaya in the ancient kingdom. They are the protectors of this great kingdom that was made of gold. However, it was lost. They were kicked from the island because they lost some like 200-year war, or have been losing a 200-year war. But yeah, back to Aisa. She is, yes, so she is the daughter of Aisa. I don't know who that is, so we're just gonna... It said open link in new tab. Who's Aisa? Do we know this person? Sort of, barely. We see her like once or twice. When Aisha is a very little baby. She works at the theme park. I did not know they had a theme park. That's really cool. Anyways, yes. So she sneaks into the upper yard, which is essentially, so Jaya is an island on Earth, and there was a knock-up stream, which is essentially a current that just goes straight up and pushes things up, moves things, and destroys things. And it took part of an island and shoved it straight up into the sky where it stayed there. So now there's a Earth island in the sky, which they don't have. They don't have like Earth. So now that they have Earth, they can grow stuff that they haven't been able to before. They can build things they haven't been able to before. So just like a lot of stuff that like actual Earth gives the people in the sky. So that's why it was so sought after, and why the Shandians and the Skypians were fighting so heavily about it. She is 9 when we first see her. She's a very little girl. Very, how do I... The word is escaping me, but I'll eventually get there. She's very, crucial. She's very crucial to the final part of the Skypia season, where she essentially through her hockey, she does have hockey. Now that's actually something I'll get to later. She has this ability to hear voices of other people, and she can hear the voices getting exterminated one by one as the guy who's in charge of this little fun game that everybody's playing kills people. But yeah, so let's personality. She has the ability known as Mantra. Because of this, she hates it when people die and will try at anything to stop it. She actively hates fighting. Like, the warriors of Shandia, not all of them scare her. One of them really scares her. Wiper, who's like, yeah, she is afraid of Wiper. Because Wiper is a very scary looking guy, very serious, very much along the lines of, we must reclaim the city. We must reclaim it because he is a descendant of Calgara. But we'll get into that more when we talk about him. Her best friend probably in the entire tribe is Rocky, who is Wiper's age. She is part of like the main unit of soldiers. Very skilled soldier, not as skilled as Wiper. Wiper's obviously like, I think Wiper's supposed to be like the mirror image of Calgara. He's supposed to be like the strong one, the leader, the one that people turn to in times of crisis. But again, we're not talking about Wiper. But Rocky is part of that group. She brings gifts like Bag of Dirt to Isa because Isa herself tends to sneak into upper yard to steal it herself, which is very risky. She risks death every single time she does that. And I think the only reason she doesn't actually die from doing that is because Enel doesn't care. Like, he finds it amusing that she takes Earth or some sadistic shit like that. She does like the Straw Hat Pirates a little bit. Obviously she clashes with them because they're very colorful characters, and not necessarily the most easy people to get along with, especially because a lot of them are quite stupid. But yes, moving on to her abilities and powers. She does have Ken Bunshoku Haki, also known as Observation Haki, also known as Mantra to the Sky Island people. It gives her a sixth sense of what is around her. She can see, I don't know if she can specifically close her eyes and look into her like mind and like see where people are positioned, but she can constantly hear the voices of other people, and when they die, those voices turn off. So that like actively terrifies her. She like shuts down, starts crying. But you would too if all of a sudden all of the voices in your head went quiet as shit. Right? She was often seen carrying a burn blade as protection for herself. Essentially what a burn blade is, it's a stick, right? A hilt, a handle of some sort, and then a dial, which is essentially like a shell that has different abilities. Like there's wind dials that cause wind, fire dials that cause fire, impact dials that store impacts and then push them out. I don't know. Usopp uses those a lot. Usopp heavily gets into dials after the Skypia arc. But yeah, she has a burn blade, which is essentially a handle, and then a flame dial, and you activate the flame dial, and it turns into a little flame sword, and you can, barbecue people with it. She's never used it in actual combat. Alright, let's keep going down. The Sky Island arc, this is essentially just the entire story of the Sky Island arc, which we could get into, but I'll probably get into that in a different series. But yeah, apparently after the time skip, she worked at Wago Mooland. Oh, that's how they make money. That's how. Oh, that's super. I remember seeing this in the in the fucking cover stories. I remember seeing that in the cover stories. Really cool stuff. But yeah, I honestly thought this video was gonna take longer, but there's not much about Isa. Um, but yeah, so essentially now that we've covered all of the information about her, now I'll get into the opinion piece. I think her character in the arc played. I think she could have played a more vital role. I think they could have made her more involved than she was, right? Because she has this ability to hear the voices of everybody that's dying and everything. But they kept her like on the outside, kind of, right? Like, I understand they kept her on the outside because she's a child and they don't want a child to get injured. But right, she's one of the only, I think the literal only person on the side of the Straw Hats and Shandians who at this point in time has that ability, right? So I don't understand why they didn't at least like ask her more about it, like what's going on, how are we doing, who's winning, who's not. She can't distinguish between the voices, I don't think, but yeah, I feel like she could have done more in the fight, telling people who was winning and who wasn't. But yeah, Kamakiri told her not to do it anymore, to collect Verth. Yeah, there's really not much about Aisa. I think she's one of the first female characters we see in the entire show display hockey. Let's see in her trivia. Yes, it appears she is the youngest known character to possess Kenbunshoku Hockey. I thought that translated to her being one of the first, but maybe not. Maybe she's just one of the youngest. But yeah, that is going to be today's YouTube video on the character Aisa. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.